A strap footing is used to connect an eccentrically loaded column footing to an interior column. The strap is used to transmit the moment caused from an eccentricity to the interior column footing so that a uniform soil pressure is generated beneath both footings. Let's say, meron tayong dalawang isolated footing. Etong footing 1, malapit siya sa property line, ano? Tapos etong footing 2, nasa loob ng building. Ngayon, let's say, etong footing 1, malaking area ang kailangan niya kasi malaki ang loads. So, tapos, etong footing 2, medyo malaki din in the sense na magbabanggaan na sila. Okay? Ngayon, pwede kang gumamit ng combined footing or pwede ka rin gumamit ng trapezoidal footing. Pero if in case medyo malaki ang kanyang distance, uneconomical na gagamit ka ng combined footing. So, ang gagamitin mo ngayon is maglagay ka na lang ng strap. Kasi, ang purpose ng strap, magtutulungan sila dun sa pagbuhat ng loads. Okay? So, itong loads ng footing 1, bubuhatin itong footing 2. Parang ganun yung sense niya. So, ang mangyayari, medyo liliit ang area nito, no? The strap footing may be used instead of a rectangular or trapezoidal combined footing if the distance between columns is large and or the allowable soil pressure is relatively large so that additional footing area is not needed. A strap footing, also known as cantilever footing, is a type of combined footing where two or more column footings are connected by a concrete beam called a strap beam to distribute loads, especially when one footing is eccentric or the distance between columns is long. So, meron dito yung word na eccentric. So, look at this figure, no? Ngayon, ito yung eccentric footing. In the sense na itong column niya ay edge na, samantalang tong kabila, ito ay concentric. Now, as we go further, pwede nating laro-laruin ang location ng both footings. A strap footing is a special type of footing used for two columns. The two columns are provided by two separate footings connected by a rigid beam called strap beam. So, ito yon. Ang inam dito sa strap beam, hindi na sinasali yung weight nito dito sa actual loads na binubuhat ng footings. Kasi ang assumption dito, yung strap, no, yung kanyang load ay binubuhat na nung soil mismo sa ilalim. Kaya ang load lang na natra-transmit dito sa footings ay yung actual loads, tapos yung surcharge loads, yung soil above the footing, and then the footing itself. There are three basic considerations for strap footing design. Number 1, strap must be rigid. Perhaps moment of inertia of strap all over moment of inertia of footing must be greater than 2. This rigidity is necessary to control rotation of the exterior footing. So, ibig sabihin nito, kailangan itong beam mo ay sufficient dapat yung kanyang cross-sectional area para may transfer niya yung axial load dito papunta sa kabila by way of moment. Okay? Number 2, footing should be proportioned for approximately equal soil pressures and avoidance of large differences in width to reduce differential settlement. Okay, so ibig sabihin nun, yung soil pressure dito sa footing 1 equal din sa soil pressure dito sa kabila. In the sense na kapag sa footing 1 malaki ang axial load, dapat malaki din ang kanyang area. Dito sa footing 2, kapag mas maliit ang kanyang axial load, mas maliit din ang kanyang footing area. Number 3, struts should be out of contact with soil so that there are no soil reactions. Dito naman sa number 3, ang ibig sabihin nito, yung self-weight nung beam, hindi na siya ginagawang reaction dun sa footing. So, ibig sabihin, parang massless na yung strap. It is common to neglect the strap weight in the design. The strap should be adequately attached to both the column and the footing by the use of dowels such that the footing and the strap act as a unit. So, ang dito naman, yung ilalim ng strap is parehas na dun sa ilalim din ng footing. Okay? So, ganun ang assumption dun. The footing is subjected to one-way bending. The strap beam is reinforced with main reinforcement at top between the columns and at bottom under the interior footing. Ngayon dito, ang i-design lang natin na bakal yung top reinforcement. So when is strap footing or cantilever footing used? Number 1. Eccentric loads. When one footing is eccentrically loaded, meaning the load is directly centered on the column, the strap beam transmits moments to the interior footing to create uniform soil pressure beneath both footings. So, magagawa nating eccentric yan in the sense na pwede nating paglaro-laruan itong capital L1. Ano? So, yung capital L1, pwede siyang mas maliit sa footing dimension na small L1. Ganon din dito. Itong small L2, pwede rin siyang yung half ng L2 is not equal to capital L3. Ibig sabihin nun, itong center ng column 2, medyo eccentric siya. Same thing with column 1. And then long spacing. It is useful when the distance between columns is long, as a regular combined footing might require excessive excavation. So kapag itong center to center spacing niya, which is capital L2, haba, let's say nasa range ng 6 meters, advisable na gumamit ka na ng strap footing. And then finally, uneven ground. Strap footings help distribute the weight of a structure over a larger area, which is particularly helpful when the ground is weak or uneven. Okay, pero dito sa design natin, ang assumption natin sa strap footings, yung top of footing 1 tsaka top of footing 2, they are on the same elevation, on the same level. Pero ang kanyang, since magkaibang kanilang thicknesses, obviously mag-iba rin ang kanilang depth of excavation. Pero dapat ang thickness ng soil covering mo dito sa footing 1 should be the same with the thickness of soil cover dito sa footing 2. Ngayon, balik na tayo sa eccentric loads, which is ito, ano? Now, let's look at the dimension notations. Ngayon, etong nasa footing left footing, ito yung footing 1, dito naman sa bandang right, ito yung footing number 2. Tapos, yung dimensions ng footing 1, you have B1 tsaka small L1. For footing 2, we have capital B2 and small L2. Okay? And then, yung small L3, that is the distance between inner edge of footing 1 to inner edge of footing 2. And then, yung center to center ng column, that is dimension capital L2. Tapos, yung dimension capital L1 is mula dito sa edge ng footing 1 up to the center of column. And then, likewise, dun sa capital L3, center of column to outer edge ng footing 2. Ngayon, in this case, etong drawing natin ay concentric. Meaning, etong center ng column 1 nasa gitna ng small L1. Likewise, etong distance capital L3 is equal to small L2 divided by 2. Okay? So, and then, another iterations or variation ng location ng column dito sa footing 1 is meron tayong eccentric. So, let's say, i-move natin tong column towards sa left, pag ganito, ano? Hanggang to the point na maging edge na siya. So, ang tawag dyan ay left edge. Next is, pwede mo rin i-move yung column towards the right, in the sense na magiging right edge na siya, no? So, kapag ganito na ang cases mo, mag-iiba na ang kanyang pag-analyze ng punching shear tsaka one-way shear. Okay? And then, if you move the column a little slightly to the right, meron kang right eccentric. Okay? And if you move the column from the center a little to the left, ganyan, magiging left eccentric siya. So, ilang variations ito or combination dito sa left footing, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? Ganon din dito sa kanan na footing. Meron ka rin 5 locations. Ano? So, concentric, right edge, right eccentric, left eccentric. So, all in all, 5 times 5, you have a total of 25 configurations. Ngayon, ito yung basic configuration. Letter A is left edge tapos itong right is concentric. Okay? So this is left edge and then concentric. Tapos letter B naman, concentric dito tapos concentric dyan. And then letter C, left edge tsaka right edge. Or itong letter C, both edge column siya, no? And then itong letter D, you have concentric and then right edge naman sa kabila. And then, ang gagamitin nating loads dito ay panay axial loads lang. So dito, you have to solve manually your ultimate loads. So, syempre, ko-consider mo dito yung dead, tsaka live, tsaka yung earthquake load. Ganun din sa column 2. And then, dito sa footing, meron tayong dalawa. We have footing 1 and then we have footing 2. Meron din tayong column 1 tsaka column 2. Ngayon, sa column 2, ang dimensions niya C3 and C4. Kay column 1, C1 and C2. Okay guys, so that's the introduction for strap footing.